Hey there, greetings. It is fall in South Carolina here. It was cold last night, so in terms of gear, fuzzy slippers, essential gear. I'm going to talk today a little about songs, well, mainly set lists. What I've got right here are songbooks. These are lyrics, chords, whoa. Lyrics, chords that I've accumulated over the years. Some of them are a little dusty. Some of them don't get much use. Others are, well, they're probably in this stack, but there might be others floating around. Others I use frequently, depending upon type of gig, etc. We'll talk about that, but I'll cruise through these. This one has a sticker posted on it. It says Trio. So this is a collection of songs that I did with the Trio over the last few years. This has Brew Brew Solo. If I happen to do a brewery, songs geared to a solo gig at a brewery. This one, 50s, 60s. This was a benefit show that we did with a group of, with a group of folks, musicians and singers, a benefit that was specifically 50s and 60s songs. So that's a special book for that one gig that we rehearsed for over the course of 6 months or so. Okay, what do we got next? This doesn't have any labels on it. It has a couple stickums, or these little post-it sticky guys. I can tell that these numbers on the side, this is an older book, and these numbers, I used to put these for either groups or for sets, so I could thumb right to them. That's about the fourth book. This one says Trio on it, and it's a big one. I mean, it's got, it's got alphabetical tabs in it, so these are all in alphabetical order according to the writer of the song. So I just, under B we've got, actually under C we've got Guy Clark, under B you'll have the Beatles, Greg Brown. If I go to E, ELP, Emerson, Lake and Palmer. Taj Mahal, back under M, whoa. And I mean, this is gobs and gobs of paper. Here's a chunk of lyric sheets, chord sheets that are hundreds of songs. Okay, all right. Now this one says Oyster on it. These are solo benefit shows that I do for an oyster festival, a yearly Rotary Club event that I play. I've had the honor of playing it over the course of the years, and it's a fun show. Specific songs for the Oyster Festival. 2021. I'll come back to this one. Farmer's Market. So this is solo shows that I've been doing this year, and I did a few over the last several years at a farmer's market in Charlotte, North Carolina. Solo shows. These are the songs that I perform at those. And we've got another master book here. No title. It has the alphabetical tabs. Again, in alphabetical order by artist. B for Beatles, etc. All right. This one, no label. It looks like some solo songs, but again, another book. There's a Mr. Vague Trio sticker on this one, so this was, and it has the little yellow post-it stuck on, so I know that this was from Trio gigs. Stay Young, Go Dancing, Death Cab for Cutie, Rub My Coconuts, Mr. Vague song. If you're not familiar with Rub My Coconuts, check out my YouTube channel. It has Rub My Coconuts, maybe 1 or 2 different versions. 10 Feet Tall by XTC. Is She Really Going Out With Him? Joe Jackson. Margaritaville, Jimmy Buffett. Some trio tunes that we used to play.
This is very, 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 very many songs.
Now, some of you folks at home, some of you may say, well, why do you have all these notebooks and, you know, typed out lyrics? Why don't you just use a tablet? Well, I do have a tablet with hundreds of songs in it. And this is a software called Setlist Maker, I believe. And I have shows, individual shows. I can see TPC. I give the shows some silly names here, so I won't repeat them. But Garage, Piper, Stock, Brew, Woodstock, different show names with unique set lists using the songs in the tablet. And of course, with the tablet, I use something called iRig Blue Turn, which you can sync with the tablet, and it'll scroll through the multi-page songs for you automatically, and it'll also flip from one song to the next, or you can go backwards, etc. It's handy. I think we talked about this in the tablet in my Plan B video. I like to use this, but I like to use it in tandem with the old school method of songbooks. Sometimes this guy will get out of sync in the middle of a song, and if you're relying on this, it can be a little tricky. So, or if you're not charged up, if you happen to not charge this before a show and you're halfway through using this and no more battery, the old school method of the notebook and song sheets is the Plan B, and it will work. And of course, I think I mentioned in Plan B, you've got to watch the songbook. If you spill a beer and the ink runs in the book, or if it's windy, the pages are flying all over you know. So you've got these issues to deal with. Anyway, I'm rambling. What I really want to talk about is the set list itself. As you can see, I've got hundreds and hundreds of songs within probably 10 songbooks here. Oh, there's one more book. 2021. Tonight I'll be playing a private party with my new upright bass player who has an upright bass from like 1951, and we're doing a group of songs specific to this show, which I have in here. I've got a set list there, and I've got the ordered songs individually here. We'll be doing a 2-hour show, 20 to 25 songs usually for that length of show. And I'm going to talk about briefly, hopefully briefly, how we arrived at these 20 to 25 songs for this specific show, and how I've gone about it over the years. Give me a minute. Give me a minute. I think he's going to need about 15 minutes the way this guy's rambling on here. One additional note, well, actually 2 additional notes. The tablet, if you're using software like Setlist Maker, you may have to spend a lot of time, in some cases, with formatting, setting up chords, or scale lines, however you have your songs laid out. You might have to spend a lot of time formatting it in here, and that can be very time consuming. With the sheets, You need to, of course, keep, they're all Word docs. I have directories, I have specific set list directories, song directories, different genre directories. I'll get into all that. But again, even with both methods, and especially this one, you may have to spend some time getting things tweaked exactly how you like them to be for your gigs. So things to consider when putting together a set list. What do you think, Betty? Well, you've got breweries, you've got wine pubs, you've got indoor, outdoor venues. Tonight we're playing an outdoor venue, okay? Well, when you think indoor, outdoor, if you're outside, it's getting chilly down here. I think tonight's going to be 49 degrees at 8 o'clock, something in that ballpark. That's kind of chilly to be playing outside. So these guys are going to get a little cold. So there are things to consider. How are you going to dress for the outdoor gig? For an outdoor gig, electric guitars are 10 times easier to play than an acoustic guitar. These guys, to fret chords, to play lines, these are easier, but they sound different than an acoustic guitar. So you've got these kinds of decisions to make up when you're trying to put together a set list. What kind of audience is going to be at the venue? Is it going to be, are you playing at a brewery where there's going to be a lot of younger folks like myself? They might want to hear something more current, okay? If you've got some current songs, you might want to throw them in at a brewery. If you've got some of the older folks, like him over there, you might want to throw in like some of the songs, for example, that I do, like Ain't Misbehavin', I've got The World on a String, some older show tunes, or if you're talking 60s and 70s songs, you know, Beatles, Roll Over Beethoven, and you know, those type of songs. So that's your audience that you have to consider. What genres of music do you want to play? And again, like I've said before, don't cater directly to the audience, as weird as that sounds. You gotta play stuff that you like too. Okay, so it's not all, you know, on them. You got to please yourself too. That's important when you're playing these guitars, and singing, that you're having a good time making music that you like. Okay, if you're singing a song that everybody likes and you can't stand it, you're not going to have a good time. I remember more than one gig that he played where he doesn't even follow his set list. You know, he spends an hour or two doesn't even follow him. Why does he spend so much time making up his set list? It doesn't make any sense. The type of band that you're playing with. Are you doing a solo show? Are you doing a duo show? Is the duo show with a trumpet player or is it with a bass player? Okay, or is it with a percussionist? A guy I've, you know, Cajun box and guitar vocals. Are you doing that type of a duo, or do you have a three-piece trio, bass, drums, electric guitar, where you're making some noise, or a four-piece or five-piece, etc. The type of instrumentation and members in the band or whatever, that's what you've got to consider for what songs you're going to be playing. Okay, if I'm playing a solo show on acoustic guitar, I'll do this type of song. If I've got a Cajun box player with me, I'm going to do this kind of song. If I've got a three-piece trio, bang out some blues, you do that type of song. Again, these are all variables that you've got to juggle when you're making a set list. The length of the show, are you doing a 4-hour show? Are you doing 2 sets with a split in the middle? Or is it a 2-hour show, 3-hour show? That determines what kind of sets you're going to be playing also. And I guess, what's the focus? Are you going to be background music? Then, you know, if you're playing at someone's written a book and they're a friend of yours and they're doing a book signing and you're off to the corner playing music during their book signing, you might want to you're really going to be background music. You're not going to be turn the instruments and the PA system up and be wailing over in the corner, taking away the attention from your friend that's signing the books. So you're really background music. So you can arrange the set list for that particular occasion. Or are you front and center? Then do your good stuff. Do your audience favorites, your favorites. So again, all of these variables come into play when you are putting a set list together.
Now, Mr. Begg mentioned variables. I heard that word, variables, and my ears perked up. I might be able to come up with some type of equation to assist Mr. Begg, to help him out with putting these set lists for shows or gigs as he calls them. Putting some kind of formula together to help him with putting together set lists. I would take into account all of the different variables, such as the venues, the audience, the different songs, the length of the show, management requests, miscellaneous things, whether it's acoustic or electric, or and he mentioned the weather too. Now the weather's, I remember it was a real cold morning, and I went outside, and I had my slippers on. Now, it was freezing cold. This was the middle of January. My toes got cold right away, so I can just imagine Mr. Vegg's fingers. You have to really be meticulous when you're playing an instrument. And if the temperatures are too low, it's going to be difficult to pick and strum the stringed instrument, a guitar or a violin, let alone also any instrument like a tuba.
You think you could be a little more Pacific? Maybe specific.
Or drums. Anyway, I think I can work on this formula. Variables.
The manager might tell you, hey, we want to hear this type of music specifically. We have these folks coming in. They're bringing in a party of 40 people. They're going to be sitting right over here. It's a birthday party. They want to hear this. You got to play Happy Birthday. Okay?
L'altra, it's football.
And please, make sure to subscribe to the Mr. Veg YouTube channel. Have a nice day.